What's up, guys? Uncle Freedom coming to you on a glorious and well-deserved day off, and we're going to do some gear setup today. This is kind of a special request video that I am actually making, so it could be linked up on my homeboy's website. So first thing you need to do is you need to have some tools, right? So for the tools I've got here, this is my multitasker twist right here in FDE. You see I got a super dope aim point tool on the top, pocket clip right there, magnetic bit holder, and then 3 additional pieces in here. I have a pick, a scraper, and a punch. That all gets housed in the back, and I have a threaded part for a cleaning kit rod, or those pieces you saw in there. Also comes with a really dope bit kit, including a front sight tool. So you need a screwdriver. Now, it wasn't too long ago that your only freaking option that you had when we dealt with stuff like this was something along these lines. This is the Blade Tech Molly stick, right? So insert Molly on here, closed piece, locks in, boom, right? Super solid mounting solution, always has been. The problem is, you look at how long this guy is. This right now is 4 and almost 3/4 inches long, right? Now, if I was gonna mount, say, this Techlok here onto a 2-inch battle belt, the only other option that we used to have for this guy was something like the Techlok. Now, this is also very bulky. We run into the issue that if we're running a 2-piece belt, we lose Velcro adhesion. That's where the Molly stuff comes in hand. But this has always been the option. Now it's not anymore, because my boy over at Guardian Warrior Solutions makes things like this. This is the Adapt 2 short. Adapt stands for adapter, so this is a Molly adapter. The 2 stands for 2 rows of Molly, and the short means it fits a 2-inch battle belt. Now, if we look at the actual length we've got here, this is right about 2.5 inches in total length. It's about half the length. Which is awesome. But what this allows me to do is anything that would be, say, normally only bolt mountable on a Techlok or something along those lines, creating more layers of stuff between me and the outside of the world. Now I have a direct Molly solution that I can actually bolt onto it. The other cool thing about this is if you had just a Molly pouch, but you wanted it to be available to use a Techlok or like a 360 Mini Techlok, I can now insert this through my Molly, fasten that up, and I can actually mount my piece here, allowing me to mount standard Molly pouches onto a Techlok or a Blade Tech system. So this guy is actually going to go to my new Guardian Warrior Solutions bum bag. I mounted in another video the Techlok Mini 360, which allows me to use this receiver with, again, a belt mounted option. That's really solid, and I get quick disconnect because this would typically have evidence of some kind in it. So now I need an option to fit it on my belt. I do not like this giant thing here, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a Tech mount. We're gonna take the Tech Mount Mini, and we're gonna take just the receiver plate itself. Now, you're gonna get hardware with this guy, which is this stuff right here, and then you're gonna get hardware with the Guardian Warrior Solutions deal. Now, here's the thing. You don't need all this hardware, but the thing we really need out of here is we need these rubber grommets, because rubber grommets are super freaking important when we're trying to keep things tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to flip over this, and what I want to know is I want to know where I'm going to mount up at. So looking at this, I know that I've got all 4 of my corners are going to have a mounting solution. Now this is where you need the Blade Tech stuff, because this Chicago screw is very long. So first I'm going to go ahead and insert that Chicago screw, take one of my rubber washers, line this guy up, go ahead and put one of my longer screws in here, grab my multitasker twist, and just start it. I'm not doing anything but making sure none of the crap falls out. Take my other super long one here, insert it in the bottom, grab my rubber washer, long screw. So now we're getting somewhere, right? So now I need my last 2 pieces of this guy right here. So I'm gonna take Chicago screw, Chicago screws, and I'm gonna go into the top of this guy. And we're going to start getting her mounted up. So top one in, rubber washer. Ooh, helps if I stick it in the hole, huh? Get it started on there. Same deal, grab that last one. Prop her in. Helps if you do this the right way, not what I just did. Take it, mount my last one in here. And those rubber grommets are going to give us the ability to really get some tension on these screws without using a ton of like Loctite and stuff. Now that said, I still would typically use Loctite. I like a VC3 or something on the smaller stuff like this, or a blue. But to be honest with you, I've never really had an issue with the standard rubber washer. So now I have this, which is a much, much lower profile platform than this, right? We would all agree that this is kind of egregious. This looks most sexy, right? So now I'm going to take this single guy, I'm going to go to my duty belt light that I have, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to insert a Chicago screw. Into the bottom hole here, and then I'm going to run this down, mount it onto my belt. Make sure that the ones you use to mount it on your belt, make sure you use thread locker of some kind, because here's the deal. If these start walking loose, you're going to know it. If these walk loose, your stuff falls off. So do me a favor, in addition to the washer, make sure that you take a moment and you thread lock that. But that is a really quick look at the Guardian Adapt 2 system. The Adapt series, he has them in triples, he has them in singles. These have literally taken the place of almost every single Molle solution I have ever tried. They are just that freaking good. So for those of you that wonder where this is going to go, this is going to go live on my Blue Alpha Duty Belt Light at about the 8 o'clock position on my belt, just behind my weak side on the taser. And the reason it's going to go there is because that is an excellent place for this guy. So now, as a completed platform for this, that's what we're looking at for thickness. The thickness between these two pieces is just wild. Like, I think that's the biggest thing to me. I'm basically eliminating this whole stack of stuff for this, right? So for those of you that wondered what that stuff was you were seeing, that is in fact the Guardian Warrior Solutions Adapt system, the adapter to take anything Blade Tech oriented and turn it into a Molle piece, or to take anything Molle related and turn it into something that you can Blade Tech. I have found this to be super freaking useful and amazing when I have some kind of older school pouches and stuff that would not typically be mountable on a Blade Tech for me to move around. I can now do that just as simple as this. These are also useful for things like knives and stuff where you've got a weird bolt pattern. Looking at you, Spyderco. You can take one of these, mount them up on there, and now you have a Molle solution for that. The uses of the Adapt system is pretty much limitless. You can do about anything you want to do with one of these. It comes with really solid, good hardware. Like I said, they're not connected to Blade Tech, and I have always liked the Tech Mount 360s for stuff. And now I have a solution to allow me to mount that is better than any Techlok. Now here's the other part of these Techloks, right? The other problem with these is these move. They slide around your crap. I don't care how well you got your stuff dialed in, they move. And that is freaking annoying. Guess what that can't do? It can't move. So there'll be another video coming up where I'm going to go over what it takes to set up the bang hanger system with his new stiffener plates mounted onto one of my Blue Alpha Battle Belt lights. Specifically, we're going to do two. We're going to do one on my brand new super sexy Ranger Green version, and then we're going to do another one on that super sexy, amazing DNC camo one that all have seen at this point. So, huge shout out to my boy at Guardian Warrior Solutions for making amazing stuff. Huge shout out to my guys at Multitasker for making a multi-tool that I just think is sexy and I want to carry. It's also very unobtrusive, magnetic, and I find myself using this thing daily. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Hopefully you found this informative and educational. Go check my boy out at Guardian Warrior Solutions. He is one of the real ones doing the job every day, and he's making gear that makes his life and my life and those of you like me's lives a lot easier. He's just awesome. So for those of you wanting to support American, go check my boy out at Guardian Warrior Solutions. So guys, I am Uncle Freedom. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Until next time, I'll see you later.